Companion comes to us from the same team as the one that did Barbarian a few years ago. This is produced by Zach Krieger, not directed by him. It is directed by Drew Hancock. And this stars Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid as Iris and Josh, two people who have met in a grocery store, and it was love at first sight. I mean, you couldn't imagine a more postcard-worthy love story if you tried. And after being in a relationship for some time, they're on vacation with some of their friends, and some stuff happens while they're on vacation. But one of the things that does happen is it reveals that Iris is in fact a robot. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Now, there has been some concern that might give away a lot of the movie because you've seen that in the marketing and stuff. But much like Barbarian, there is a lot more in Companion that they have not shown. And so much like that review, it's going to be a little bit vague because I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give too much away. And I would rather you guys experience that for yourselves. The good thing about marketing like that is it actually does make that incentive clearer though, because when you really think about it, if you got the entire movie in the trailer, then, why would you want to go see it? But Barbarian created that curiosity. It's like, what's going on? What's downstairs in the basement? In this case, what happens after that is potentially an interesting question that, that hopefully you guys will get answered when you watch the movie. I just saw it with a friend of mine, and I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's quite as good as Barbarian was, but it is a very solid watch and a very entertaining watch in that. And a lot of that has to do with the two leads who are in this movie, particularly Sophie Thatcher. She has a lot to work with as this movie goes on, and some of the stuff that she's eventually doing and some of the situations that are arising while they're on this vacation, it requires a lot from her at times, and she plays all of that as well as it can be done. I mean, it's really, really great work from her. Jack Quaid as Josh, he's also really good in the movie. As you have seen from the marketing though, the two of them will lock horns eventually. There seems to be some kind of a confrontation going on. Eventually, you see different sides of the character, and he played those very well too. The other characters in the movie, played by actors like Harvey Guillen, Lucas Gage, Rupert Friend, Megan Suri, they're all really good too. And it's a very contained movie, for the most part. Aside from a couple of people every now and then, that is the entirety of the movie's cast. And it keeps things pretty much locked to this, one specific area. And so the movie ends up also being sort of like this isolated claustrophobic thriller at the same time. And it plays it very, very well. Hancock does a great job of directing it, and it's also beautifully shot. We saw this in IMAX, and it looked pretty good up there. I mean, there's some really, great work going on here when it comes to the cinematography, and there's some really great shots in here that definitely do stick out. Some great wides, especially. And again, it just manages to maintain that thrilling pace all the way to the ending. It's a movie that really does move, especially once you're past the first about 20-25 minutes or so. Once the initial setup is out of the way and the movie really kicks into high gear, after that, it really just manages to, stay relentless all the way to the very end. I will say that there were times as a result of it where you don't really get much more with the other characters past a certain point. You get these brief little anecdotes about who each character is and, what they're doing, but as some stuff is happening later on in the movie and you're learning a few more things, it does feel like, you don't get much more past a certain point, particularly when it comes to a few characters. I would have liked a little bit more of that, especially because, in some moments you have to have some kind of a connection to a few things that's happening. And there are also aspects of it which it sets up in the world building that it's doing that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of, but you don't really get a chance to delve into that as much as you can. And so I would have liked a little bit of that as well. Now, all that being said, though, as it does, like I said, keep you in that moment as whatever is going on, that is a very effective movie for the most part, and it is very enjoyable. And so I would recommend going and checking out Companion. Like I said, there's not much that I want to give away. There's not much that I want to say about it, and I know this is a very vague review as a result, but, treat it as more like a recommendation of sorts, just go see it for yourself. And I'm gonna give Companion an 8 out of 10. A solid time. A very, very solid time indeed. I was very happy with it overall. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And as always, if you like this, please do subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the movies.